Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Samantha Wicks and as you can see by the title, we are going to be doing a Q&A today. I went to my Instagram and asked you guys to leave some questions that you would like me to answer. So I'm going to answer a few of those questions in this video, but if you did however miss out on asking a question, make sure you go follow me on my social media sites. They are all linked below in the description, and while you're down there, click the subscribe button because it means the absolute world to me. I'm going to try and cover as many questions as I can, and hopefully questions that I haven't answered before. I don't really like answering the same questions over and over and over again. I honestly find that really boring, and like for me to edit, it's like, oh, I've already answered this before, so you know, we'll see how we go. So without further ado, let's answer some questions. So for the first question today, it is going to be, what age would you like to get married and have children? For me personally, I've always wanted to have a kid before the age of 30. I don't know why. I think it might have something to do with the fact that my parents had my brother and I in their 30s. So I've always just been like, oh, you know, I want to have a kid a bit younger than they did. And I don't know, I think that's why. For marriage, I've always thought between the ages of 23 and 28. But obviously if I get married outside of the time frame or have a kid before or after 30, like, you know, it happens, whatever, life goes on. Advice for beginners trying to stay motivated with gym and eating healthier. So I've actually made a video in the past about, you know, being motivated and all that kind of thing. So I'll leave that linked below in the description so you guys can check it out. Being a beginner, I think, like, to stay motivated, you have to accept the fact that you are a beginner. I tend to find a lot of people will fail, I guess you could say, at their fitness journey because they aren't accepting the fact that they are a beginner. Being a beginner, you have to accept the fact that you're not going to see many changes straight away. You know, your body is going to be mad at you for going to the gym all the time. I mean, your muscles and everything are going to be so cranky with you because, you know, you've literally just been laying around doing nothing and then suddenly going to the gym all the time. You know, your body's just not going to be happy. And then obviously being a beginner is the same thing with food. Like, your body is not gonna want to always have a healthy meal. It is gonna want to have that donut or that ice cream or whatever it is that your, you know, cheat meal may be. And I would probably also say, make it ideal for yourself. When it comes to gym and eating healthy, I always find people will go from nothing and, you know, eating really bad food, etc., and then going to the biggest extreme possible. Biggest extreme possible being, you know, training every single day at gym, you know, cutting out all sugars, all fats, etc. Like, maybe the ideal goal is to only give yourself maybe 3 cheat meals a week, or maybe it is to go to the gym 3 times this week and 4 times the next week, or maybe it's to be able to squat 40 kilos instead of 30 kilos. Like, I don't know, like, make it ideal for yourself and you will find it so much easier to stay motivated. Whereabouts in Australia do you live? I live in Brisbane, which is in the sunny Queensland state. If the earth is round, why do birds fly? What the f, Scott? I'm a bit confused to what this question means, so I'm gonna say yes. That's why birds fly. Do you struggle with mental health? Just a quick trigger warning. I am about to get really, like, deep and personal into my life. So if you do not wish to hear about my mental health, skip along to this number. Yeah. I have made a video previously about me being depressed and stuff in my high school years. I was never super depressed, but I was becoming depressed. I don't know how to explain it. I wasn't super depressed, like, you know, I never harmed myself. I never thought of, you know, doing certain things to myself, but I was just in a very negative headspace for a very long time. As I've said in a video previously, I used to always listen to what other people thought about me. So for example, if people were going around calling me a slut, then I would believe it. Like, I would believe that I'm a slut. Or if people would say that I was ugly, I would believe it. And I would look in the mirror and go, damn, you are ugly. Like, I don't know, I was just in a very negative headspace. And I don't know, like, all these other events that have happened in my life kind of pushed me to the point of being an overthinker. And okay, like, I'm not 100% sure, as I haven't seen a doctor, I haven't seen a professional in this area of things, but I am 90% sure that I actually have anxiety. Like, not full-on anxiety. I feel as if all of us have anxiety in some way. That's just my personal thought towards anxiety in general. But yeah, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's just so hard. Maybe I'm overthinking this part as well, but apparently overthinking is anxiety, and I'm an overthinker, so, you know, I'm just gonna call it anxiety. It may not be anxiety, I don't know. It actually got really bad after school, and I would find myself constantly biting my lips and like tearing it to shreds, actually, to the point where they would bleed, and that would always happen if I was feeling nervous or anxious or overthinking about things. My mum actually noticed it as well. I tend to also play with my thumb, so I will actually pick the skin at my thumb until it tears off. Once again, it happens if I'm nervous, anxious, uncomfortable, whatever it may be. I sat mum down, I think it was start of last year, and I said to her, look mum, I'm convinced that I have anxiety. I need to go see someone. Do you know anyone? But before I went and saw anyone, I wanted to make sure that what I thought was going on was actually going on. I would constantly be looking for things that would trigger me and what made me feel in what way. So then when I went and saw someone, I would know exactly what to say. But then after a while, I actually learnt so much about my own self that I found other ways to deal with it. I used to overthink all the time, like to the point that I would be having a panic attack. Everything and anything that I was overthinking about, honestly, was nothing, and like I would make up scenarios in my head and it would just send me through the roof. I personally find that if I'm really fatigued or if I'm drained, the overthinking I can't control, it just happens naturally. But now that I am putting all that kind of like as a priority to make sure that I'm not drained, I'm not overworked, etc. I haven't really had panic attacks, I haven't really been overthinking much. Obviously, if it gets bad again, I'm not going to hesitate to go see a doctor, but I just, like, I know how to control it myself, and yeah, that's my mental health state, I guess. When I was going through my really bad state of overthinking and, you know, having panic attacks, etc., my friend, she actually reached out to me and said, this is what I do whenever I start to overthink. It helps me so much. You start to control your breathing and you have to try and tell yourself 5 things that you can see. Then you go 5 things that you can touch, and you actually physically touch them. So I might be like, oh, my hair, my bed, my wall, blah, blah, blah. And then you close your eyes and you go 5 things that you can hear. And then once I've personally done that process, I don't know what it is, but I feel like so much weight has been lifted off my shoulders. But if that doesn't work, or you feel like it's not working for you, go see a professional. Obviously, the professional is the best option. I am nowhere near a professional in that industry whatsoever. I'm sorry if some of that didn't really make sense, but I've tried to explain it in the best way possible, but I don't really want to talk about it anymore, so let's just get into the next question, shall we? When and why did you start going to the gym? As a lot of you know, I started mainly because I had my ACL reconstruction, so I was required to go to gym every second day for strengthening and all that kind of thing. But I actually first stepped foot in a gym when I was turning 16, because the netball team that I was in at the time, we were required to go to gym twice a week. I used to hate gym, fun fact. I hated gym. Yeah, now I'm 20 and I love gym. I'm always there every single day, maybe one rest day, but mostly every day I'm there. Would you consider yourself successful in regards to your interpretation of success? That's a really good question, and I kind of don't know how to answer it. I mean, I feel like I'm successful in some areas, but I feel like I'm not as successful as I want to be in other areas. But when I think about my ideal goals that we spoke about before, oh my god, see the link, wow. My ideal goal, which is in the process of happening, it's on a 5-year plan. So really, I am successful at the moment for my 5-year plan, and then hopefully at the end of the 5-year plan, what I want to happen will happen and everything will be fine. Do you play netball anymore? Yes, I actually do. Not as much as I used to when I was younger. I'm not playing any netball at the moment. Actually, we're on the off season. But yeah, I still play netball. Not as much as I would like to, as I do want to play over the off season. But do I have time for that? Nah. I still coach netball. I'll still umpire if I need to. Yeah, still love netball, still live, breathe it, you know, all that kind of thing. How are you? I'm really good, to be honest. I feel like I am just very content with how life is turning out at the moment. Obviously, I have my high days and my low days, but I feel even on my low days that I'm still at that content level. I really hope I don't jinx any of this, but I am becoming very, very organized, very confident in myself as well. Like, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but all over my Instagram I'm posting like all the freaking time now, especially on my stories, which I used to be really self-conscious about. Like, I would never just post a story of me talking. Like, I'd feel like people would be judging me. I also feel like now that I have my 5-year plan in place, that I have a goal to achieve, and I feel like the past few years I haven't really had that goal to achieve. I've just kind of been like, oh, do I want to do that? Do I not want to do that? Well, now I know exactly what I want to do, and I know exactly what I have to do to get there. So yeah, we will see what happens. I also feel the healthiest and fittest that I have ever been in my entire life. Like, I'm just on a high at the moment, and I could not be happier. But the last question for today is going to be pineapple on pizza, yes or no? I have always loved pineapple on pizza ever since I was little. So if you try to take pineapple off my pizza, I will destroy you. Understood? Okay. Anyway, guys, that is all the questions that I'm going to be answering today. I hope you all enjoyed this Q&A. If you did enjoy this video, then make sure you click the subscribe button and like button down below, and also go follow me on my social media sites. They are all linked below in the description. I try to post on them every single day. And yeah, I shall see you next time.